Welcome friends for online learn session number 4 class 10th subject biology life process transporting animals. So before this I have launched 3 sessions: nutrition in plants, nutrition in animals, respiration in organisms, and this is the fourth one, transport in animals. And I am G.R. Chopde, PGT Biology, JNV Sangli. Introduction. We know that movement of various types can be taken as an indication of life. Maintenance of life require processes like nutrition, respiration, transport of materials within the body, and excretion of waste products. Food and oxygen taken up at one place in the body of the organism and need to transfer all parts of the body. This situation creates a need for the transportation system for carrying food and oxygen from one place to another place in the body. So in human beings, there is a circulatory system to do this process. So the circulatory system consists of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. Now try to learn each and every part in detail. Transportation. Transport of digested food, water, respiratory gases, and waste throughout the body is called transportation. It needs a pumping organ to push the blood around the body. Then there is a network of tubes to reach all the blood to different tissues, and a system in place to ensure that this network can be repaired if damaged. Okay, so that is required for the transportation. Now, the human circulatory system consists blood, blood vessels, and a pumping organ, heart. Blood contains blood plasma and blood cells. Now, human blood. If you take 100 ml of blood, see that a yellow straw color, a liquid plasma, and here you will get a group of blood cells. So human blood is a fluid red color connective tissue, a liquid. The volume of blood in adult person of 70 kilogram is about 5.5 liters. It consists of two components, the blood plasma and blood corpuscles, blood cells. Blood plasma, a faint yellow colored transparent viscous fluid. Plasma consists of water, organic and inorganic substances. It transports the food, carbon dioxide, and nitrogenous waste in a dissolved form. In many other substances like salt, waste also get transported through the plasma. Erythrocytes, red blood corpuscle, RBC, see the shape and size. Shape biconcave, disc-like shape. Hemoglobin is localized, located in the RBC. In mature RBC, cell organelles like mitochondria are absent, नहीं होता है mitochondria. So lifespan that is 120 days and एक बार तैयार होने के बाद 120 days वो काम करता है. RBC helps in transport of gases. Now there is an activity in your book 6.7. By visiting a hospital या lab, you can collect the information about hemoglobin content in the human beings, and you must do this activity and bring. So men 13 to 80 gram per 100 ml deciliter, women 12 to 16 gram per deciliter, baby, newborn baby 17 to 20 gram per deciliter. If you compare here, so the woman has less hemoglobin compared to men. Similarly, male animal 12.9 per 100 ml, female 11.23, again here less, and calf, cost 12.75 gram per 100 ml. Leukocytes, white blood corpuscles, WBC, round and irregular shape. Cells are colorless because they don't have any color pigment. They contain nucleus and all cell organelles, mitochondria वगैरह सब कुछ रहता है. Functions, see here in the animation you can see it is eating the bacteria. जो green color दिख रहा है वो bacteria है और वो real WBC का cell है that attacking So provide body defense by engulf the germ and produce antibodies in our body. आपके शरीर में antibodies तैयार करता है. Third component है platelets. They are small disc-like structure without any cell content. कुछ भी नहीं होगा. When blood vessels cut या damage, so loss of blood takes place. So bleeding होता है. देखा होगा जब damage या cut होता है तो. So कितना देर, how much? Within 2-3 minutes it will get clot. So who will do that one? Platelets. It reduces the pressure and efficiency of a system when there is a damage. So therefore the blood platelets plug these leakages. जहाँ पे cut हुआ है ना, उस leakage को plug कर देते हैं, pack कर देते हैं, and that process is called blood clotting या by clotting. So blood clotting होने से क्या होगा? It will maintain the blood pressure and reduce या prevent the loss of blood from your body. So this is the repairing system in our circulatory system. Very, very important question. Now come to the second part of the circulatory system, human heart. So this is real human heart, external, and this is internal. Diagram very, very important, given in your textbook, वो निकाल सकते हैं. It is a muscular pumping organ. It pumps the blood. Size the fist of your left hand, and its weight is around 360 gram. Present in the thoracic cavity. वो वीडियो में देखेंगे. Made up of purely cardiac muscles. 9th में आपने स्टडी किया है. Okay. Now you can see here a real human heart. How it is pumping. Lub dub, lub dub. So RANA, right atrium, left atrium. Now here you will get, see, vena cava, that is will bring the blood from other parts of the body. Aorta carry the blood to different parts of the body. Okay, see that lub dub sound is there. Okay, so this is a real heart of a human beings which are removed. Now
the heart is a muscle about the size of your fist. It lies behind and to the left of your breastbone or sternum. The purpose
this is the exact location of your heart, little bit towards the left side.
Of the heart is to pump blood through blood vessels, arteries, and veins to all parts of your body. The inside of the heart is divided into 4 chambers.
See, there are 4 chambers. Now 1, 2, 3, 4.
The top 2 chambers are called the atria and are collection chambers for blood.
See, these 2 are collecting chambers called atria.
The bottom 2 chambers are called the ventricles and receive the blood from the atria. And
so these are the ventricles, bottom. So they will receive the blood from atrium and pump the blood to all parts of the body. Now you can see here wall. So here it has a thin wall, but here you can see thick wall. And this is the septa, which separate the blood from all the chambers.
Pump it to the lungs and the body. The chambers are separated by valves, which control the direction of blood flow. There are 4 valves: tricuspid, pulmonic, mitral, and aortic.
So 4 valves are there. Now see which are those.
Circulation begins at the right side of the heart, where blood from the body comes to the right atrium.
So ये है right atrium. So here the blood will come from all parts of the body. Okay.
This blood passes to the right ventricle.
Then the blood will come into the right ventricle,
where it is pumped to the lungs to receive oxygen.
So then it will pump that blood to the lungs for oxygenation.
Once it receives oxygen, it flows to the left atrium. And
so that blood will come into the left atrium. So this is oxygenated blood, left side.
Then to the left ventricle.
Then that blood will come into the left ventricle. Then the left ventricle contracts and pump the blood to all parts of the body, that is oxygenated. See.
Where it is pumped to the aorta and the rest of the body. On the right side of the heart, the tricuspid valve separates the right atrium and the right ventricle.
The tricuspid wall that will separate, okay, prevent the backflow of blood from ventricles to atrium.
Ventricle, allowing blood to enter the ventricle but not flow backwards to the atrium. Blood flows through the pulmonic valve to go to
here there is a one more, that is, so these are semilunar wall. So they also prevent the backflow of blood from these arteries back to the ventricles.
Lungs. On the left side of the heart, The mitral valve separates the left
So left side, so there is a mitral wall, yeah, bicuspid wall.
atrium and the left ventricle. Blood flows from the left ventricle to the aorta through the aortic valve
Again
and
here
to
you
the
can
rest of
see
the body.
semilunar wall.
Arteries carry blood with oxygen and other nutrients throughout the body. Veins take blood back to the heart, which pumps it to the lungs to be oxygenated. The heart arteries, coronary arteries, provide oxygen and nutrients to the heart muscle.
See, these are coronary arteries and coronary veins, which supply blood to heart muscles.
The right coronary artery supplies blood to the
This is
bottom
coronary
and the
artery.
back of the heart. The left coronary artery splits into two vessels. One branch supplies blood to the front of the heart. The other branch delivers blood to the left side of the heart. An electric system transmits signals throughout the heart
So this is now
to
conducted by, that
control
is,
its
electrical
pumping.
system. Okay, that we study in higher class. Now heart chambers. Heart has 4 chambers: atria, yeah, auricle. 2 upper chamber, smaller in size and have thin wall. They receive blood from all parts of the body, that is deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood. Right atrium receive carbon dioxide rich blood from the body, that is deoxygenated blood. And left atrium receive oxygen rich blood from the lungs, and that is oxygenated blood. Okay, तो atrium का काम है रिसीव करना, लेकिन लेफ्ट रिसीव करता है डीऑक्सीजनेटेड, सॉरी ऑक्सीजनेटेड, और राइट रिसीव करता है डीऑक्सीजनेटेड. Now see here, ये डायग्राम आप निकालेंगे. Okay, see first right atrium, then we have here right ventricle, then here a left atrium, and then here a left ventricle. A 4 chambers हो गए. See, all they have wall, but here a thin wall, this is a thick wall, and this is the septa, and here there is a AV wall, this one wall, this one wall, these 4 walls. So they prevent the backflow of the blood. Then you see there is a vena cava from the upper body and vena cava from the lower body. So they bring blood deoxygenated to the right atrium. From right atrium, see the arrow mark, the blood flow through the wall into the right ventricle. So right ventricle pump the blood through semilunar wall. It will go to the pulmonary arteries, and that will carry blood to the lungs. In lungs, okay, see here, in lungs the purification of blood takes place, and that oxygenated blood through the pulmonary veins come into the left atrium. So from left atrium, okay, it will go, okay, into the left ventricle. So from the left ventricle it will go to the through the aorta to different parts of the body. Now heart chambers. Ventricles, there are 2 lower chambers, larger chamber, and they have thick wall compared to right. They supply the blood to all parts of the body. Right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Okay, क्योंकि right side में impure blood या deoxygenated होता है. Left ventricle pumps oxygenated blood to all body parts. Okay, so they have thicker muscular wall than the atria, because to generate more pressure. Now, heart chamber separation. See, there are interatrial septa. You can see here septa. Thin muscular wall separate the 2 atria. An interventricular septum, a thick wall that separate ventricles. Then atrioventricular septum, a thick fibrous tissue that separate 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Atrium and ventricles of same side. Okay, this is how it will separates. See, this is the septa. Now internal structure. Atrioventricular walls separate the atria and ventricle. So here you can see the wall. Now it is closed and semilunar wall open. Right AV wall, that is tricuspid, and left AV wall bicuspid ya mitral. The major arteries have semilunar wall. See here there are a semilunar wall. So all these walls prevent the backflow of blood. That is the main function of 4 valves. Here you can see AV valves. Now come to the third part, that is tubes या blood vessels, artery, vein and capillary. So there are three blood vessels. Artery have thick wall, veins have thin wall, and capillary have very thin wall. You can see here three wall thicks. Here you can see walls are there, but here walls are absent, and this is only one layer thick. Difference क्या है? ये क्वेश्चन आएगा. Arteries carry blood from heart to different body parts. The walls are thick and elastic. Blood flows in a jerk. Jerk में flow होता है. The flow of blood is fast with a high pressure, a great pressure. Valves are absent, no valves. Veins carry blood from different body parts to heart. The valves are thin and non-vascular, muscular. Blood does not flow in jerk. Blood does not flow in jerk. The flow of blood is slow and with a low pressure, and they have a internal walls in between. Okay, so these are the difference between arteries and veins. Very important question. Table बनाएंगे. See, here you can see a artery, endothelium सब कुछ है. Artery divided into arteriole, and then it is further divided into capillaries. Capillaries join to form venule, and venule will join to form vein. So this is how a closed circulatory system. You can see how the blood flow through the arrow mark. Then it will come to arteriole. Then it will exchange in the capillary, go to the venule. From the venule, it will go back to the vein, and the vein will carry blood to the heart. So this is a circulation, closed circulation. Capillaries. On reaching an organ or tissue, artery divides into smaller and smaller vessels to bring the blood in contact with all individual cells. The smallest vessel, which is one cell thick wall, are called capillaries. The main function of capillaries to exchange material between the blood and surrounding cells. See here, the capillaries then join together to form veins. ऐसा question आता है. Okay, artery, capillaries, here veins. Now, here you can see this diagram, complete arrow mark with all label parts are given, the direction of a blood flow. Then there are four chambers with board, right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Arrow marks are very, very important. Now, how the blood circulation takes place? The blood goes through the heart twice. During each cycle is known as double circulation. और 1 मिनट में ऐसा 70 to 72 टाइम्स होता है. Right atrium receive deoxygenated blood from the body through vena cava, that is the largest artery, largest vein. The right atrium contracts and the blood transfer to the right ventricle. Then this right ventricle pumps it blood to the lungs for oxygenation through pulmonary artery. So this is the only artery which carry deoxygenated blood. एक मार्क का क्वेश्चन आएगा. Oxygenated blood from the lungs comes to the left atrium, that is auricle, through pulmonary vein, and this is the only one pulmonary vein that carry oxygenated blood. बाकी के सभी veins deoxygenated carry करते हैं. So the left ventricle then contracts and the blood is pumped out of the heart to the body through the largest artery, aorta. तो शुरुआत किया आपने, बॉडी रिसीव करता है, हार्ट रिसीव करता है बॉडी से ब्लड एंड देन सप्लाई करता है. सी हियर एरो मार्क से देखो. सो ब्लड विल कम, देन द ब्लू कलर. ओके, सो ब्लड विल गो, देन रेड कलर हो गया, दैट इज ऑक्सीजनेटेड. ओके, सो इट विल हाउ इट विल ट्रांसफर टू द डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द बॉडी. क्लियर? एनी डाउट? तो वीडियो भी देखेंगे, एनिमेशन भी देखेंगे, और जो 2 स्लाइड के पॉइंट्स है उसको अच्छी तरह से लिखेंगे. Now here भी आप देख सकते हैं, this is a flow diagram. Okay, now you see, so we'll start from the here. Okay, arrow mark देखेंगे आप लोग. Now see, from the body the deoxygenated blood come to the right atrium, then right ventricle, then it will go to the lungs. इसको आप बोल सकते हैं pulmonary circulation. Then अभी रेड कलर का देखो, from the lungs the blood will come to left atrium से left ventricle, and left ventricle से a body organs. Okay, इसको हम बोलेंगे systemic circulation. तो pulmonary and systemic circulation together called as double circulation. ओके, ये देख सकते हैं दोबारा ना. ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस, दिस डायग्राम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब इधर देखेंगे आप. सो वीना कवा ब्रिंग द ब्लड फ्रॉम द बॉडी. ओके, देन हियर it will receive pump to the right ventricle. Right ventricle pump blood to the pulmonary artery to lungs. Here oxygenation hoga from lung capillaries through the pulmonary vein. It will come to the lungs, and here the lungs, from the lungs the blood will go into this ventricle. So this ventricle will pump the blood to the aorta, and aorta will carry that blood to the body to a different organs where the exchange will take place, and again the circulation starts. See that एक साइकिल हो गया. ओके, और ऐसा दूसरा साइकिल ये. सो ऊपर वाला पल्मनरी सर्कुलेशन और जो नीचे वाला था वो सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन. ऑक्सीजन एंटर्स द ब्लड इन द लंग्स. So the separation of the right side and the left side of the heart is useful to keep oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood from mixing. Mix होने नहीं देता है. उससे फायदा क्या होगा? It allows a highly efficient supply of oxygen to the body, and it is useful in animals that have high energy needs. For example, birds and mammals, because they are warm-blooded animals. 9th में पढ़ा है. Which constantly use energy to maintain their body temperature. Question आएगा, what are the advantages of separate chambers? Now, if you see a different animals for their heart, see fish, 2-chamber heart is there. Okay, ventricle and atrium. Amphibians, 3-chamber, 2 atrium, 1 ventricle. Reptiles have a 3-chamber, a incomplete 4-chamber, except, okay, that is crocodile. And mammals and birds have 4-chamber heart. Fish, 2-chamber, auricle and 1 ventricle. So therefore here there is a single blood circulation. Exceptional case है lungfish, it has 3-chamber. Amphibians heart have 3-chamber, 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. Double circulation होगा, but here there is a mixing of blood. So therefore they are called cold-blooded animals. Reptiles, incomplete 4-chamber heart या 3-chamber लिखा है आपके किताब में, except crocodile, alligator and gavialis, they have 4-chamber heart. Avian and mammalian heart are 4-chamber heart, and they are warm-blooded animals. So in animals that do not use energy for the maintenance of body temperature, उनमें क्या होगा? So the body temperature depends upon the temperature of the environment. So they go on changing their body temperature. Example, fish है, amphibians है, many reptiles except crocodile वगैरह छोड़ के. Okay, so they tolerate some mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood because of incomplete या only 3-chamber heart. In fish, we have seen single circulation. They have only 2 chambers to their heart. The deoxygenated blood is pumped to the gills by ventricle. So the blood is get oxygenated here in the gills and passes directly to the rest of the body. Thus the blood goes only once through the heart. Therefore it is called single circulation. During one cycle of passes through the body. Now come to the blood pressure. The force that blood exerts against the wall of vessel is called blood pressure. It is measured with the instrument called sphygmomanometer. Normal systolic pressure 120 millimeter of mercury. Diastolic pressure 80 millimeter of mercury. High blood pressure is also called hypertension. If the blood pressure is more than 120, 140 okay, above 140 उसको बोलेंगे high blood pressure. It can lead, अगर high blood pressure है, hypertension है, rupture of artery and internal bleeding होगा in our vital organs like brain या kidney etc. See, so this is how a sphygmomanometer. Here the blood pressure can be measured in the artery by using here rubber cuff, inflated ear होगा. Here there is a pressure in the cuff, यहाँ पे आता है, you will hear the sound in the stethoscope. So sound audible in the stethoscope शुरू हो जाता है 120 में. So where it will start, that is the normal systole pressure. and the sound will remain until certain level. तो इन दोनों के बीच में साउंड सुनाई देता है. साउंड शुरू हो गया, दैट इज द प्रेशर सिस्टोलिक, और साउंड आना बंद हो गया, दैट इज द डायस्टोलिक प्रेशर, एंड दैट इज द रेंज. तो ये नॉर्मल कितना होगा, 120 to 80. साउंड स्टॉप्स. Now come to a second fluid in our body, that is lymph या tissue fluid. Light yellow color tissue fluid. Through the pores present in the walls of capillaries, some amount of plasma from the blood, proteins and some blood cells will come outside and escape into the intercellular space in the tissues. So therefore it is called tissue fluid. It is a part of lymph, लेकिन कैपिलरी से बाहर आता है, टिश्यू के सराउंडिंग में इकट्ठा होता है, इसलिए इसको बोलेंगे lymph या टिश्यू फ्लूइड. It is very similar to the blood plasma, okay, of a blood plasma, but colorless है and contain less protein. blood plasma में ज्यादा प्रोटीन्स होते हैं और बाकी के कंपोनेंट्स भी होते हैं. Lymph drains या flow in one direction, that is from intracellular space it will go to the lymphatic capillaries. From lymphatic capillaries it will go to the lymph vessel, and from lymph vessel it will join to the larger vein, and the vein again carry back to the heart, again it will become a part of blood. What are the functions of lymph? It carries digested and absorbed fat from the intestine. दूसरा, it drain excess fluid from the extracellular space back into the blood. Okay, yeah. So we now summarize. In human beings, the transport of materials such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, food, excretory products is the function of our circulatory system. It consists the heart, the blood and blood vessels. Different group of animals have heart chambers of a different, maybe two, three chamber, four chamber. Lymph is another body fluid that helps to transfer the fats, and blood pressure can be measured by sphygmomanometer. So thank you for joining this my learn session, and again you can visit the YouTube channel to see the further forthcoming chapters. Thank you one and all.